So prepared battlefield, that's definitely going to be useful, especially if we want to maybe take on those Greeks over there. This is an opportunity that we could also do something and get a little bit friendly with somebody else. Maybe use this to form an alliance with the Carthaginians. I certainly like that idea. Yes, I think that's what we're going to do. Let's see what else we're going to do. Opportunity for a trade, a couple of trades. Agents can do 2 actions this turn. 2 actions this turn. Can move between actions. Ooh. Oh yes. Blind remove a random army card from an opponent's army. Can be played before battle. Also useful. So that's we could certainly do this one, which means that one of our agents is going to get 2 turns. I do like that. Leader assassinated. Expert assassin hired for 1 gold per that of the general. So we could do that up into there. Unfortunately, we just don't have the gold for it right now. So useful though. Adds terrain. Yeah. Some really great ones. All useful stuff. I think this, and agents. So both of them. So I can get 4 actions. Definitely. Definitely. So one of the actions is to play this, which means the other agent is going to get 2 goes. So I think we want to go to Carthage and be able to sort out our treaty. So definitely coming from here. Am I allowed to do that? Yep. Into there. And make a deal with Carthage. Carthage, would you be my friend? Yes, that's what we're going to do. So we're asking Carthage if we could become allies, which is absolutely brilliant. That's a great use of a card there. At the same time, we're then going to do a trade action. And I think that maybe this one here. So that was 1, that was 2. Then this guy is going to come and do a trade action. Do I want to send them both down into here? I don't need to, because actually I can keep him here and we can do a trade action along with the agent. So I think we're going to use beneficial wind to go ahead and then do a trade action. This is going to be his first action, and we're going to hold the second one for using one of these other cards here. So we're just going to hang on to that, and we're going to use beneficial. No, sorry, we're going to do the trade action then. So as I'm doing the trade action with the Carthaginians, I'm then just going to go ahead and just check and see. So I know the Greeks didn't have anything relevant, but I think we have a prior from a trade action, yes. So let's go ahead and we'll bring that into effect when it comes. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to do a trade action. And when you're trading with an ally, I'm just going to remind myself exactly what that looks like. When you're trading with an ally, you gain 4 gold each, and you add market effects +1 for each market that you have at a port. Only 1 trade for each other faction can be initiated by the player. And so yes, and I believe that the market effect is only for the one that's doing the action. Is that correct though? No, it doesn't actually specify that you have at a port. It says that you have at a port. You know what, I actually interpret that that's only going to be the Romans that will get that benefit. So there's an extra +1. So it's going to be 4 + 1, which is 5 for the Romans. but it's going to be 4 for the Carthaginians. Now what's happening here is there's going to be a pirate raid by the barbarians, who are going to steal gold from a trade action, take 50% from both traders, each rounded up, which means that as the what's happening here is, let me just grab all the gold that I need. I'm going to need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So what's happened is that the Romans are due to, in this trade action, to be getting 5, because 4 from your alliance and then 1 for their port. And then the Carthaginians are getting 4 from the trade. However, the barbarians are playing a pirate raid, and let me just check that, yep, there's absolutely nothing that the Romans can do to block this. But if we come over here to look at the Carthaginians, they could do a raid action here, but it's going to be actually kind of useless at the moment. So no, nothing to kind of stop this from happening here. And what's going to happen is that they're going to take, the barbarians are going to take 2 from the Carthaginians, and they're going to take 3 from the Romans. So they're going to walk away with 5 out of this, because they've done a pirate raid. Don't know how they've done that, because they don't have any fleets, but hey, it's worked out for them. So the Romans after that only coming out with 2 gold, as well, a 2 coin, and the Carthaginians likewise. So that's what's occurred there, and that means that the Romans are now hanging on to an action. I realise that you can actually use these cards at any phase. It doesn't matter how many actions you've actually taken. It's only during the agent actions that it's really relevant. So in terms of these agent actions, I don't think there's anything else that's useful, other than that we could do another the disease thing is really useful. However, I would only want to use it in the campaign phase. The Greeks are going to go first. I just don't want them. Oh yeah, the spending phase comes afterwards, so actually would be good to use the disease at this time in particular. But is there any more agent actions we want to do? And the answer is no. But let's use a disease card right now to go ahead and blindly remove a random army card from your opponent's army. So we're looking up here at the Greeks' army here, and we're blindly going to take a card, which means I'm going to actually give this a bit of a shuffle. And yes, we are getting dirty, and we are getting... could have been good to maybe hang on to that and just do another trade. But I just don't want to create an arms race up in that top corner there. Although the Marian reforms are coming, and they're coming fast. I just want to put the Greeks off. Okay, so let's take this card off the top. What is it? Pelastoi. See, cheap but good unit. Probably good that we got rid of that overall, but at the same time actually not particularly useful, I would say. Could have definitely done a better card than that, but hey, it's a cheap dirty trick, and we've managed to take advantage of it that way. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Carthaginians, and let's take a look and see what they might want to do. Opportunity for another trade, and I quite like that, and we're going to hope that there's nothing out there that will allow us to lose anything. So I think this agent up here, it's going to do a deal, and we're going to do a trade action, and this time they're going to get the benefit of the port, and so I don't think that there's any pirate raids left, no, except for from the Carthaginians themselves. So what's going to happen is the Carthaginians are going to be able to get 5, and the Romans are going to be able to get 4 out of this trade. So they are actually going to be able to bolster. So that's giving the Romans up to 6. Carthaginians now sitting on 8 gold. So doing pretty well. So that's that one action there. We've got this guy sitting here. Let's see what we want to do with him. Is there something useful? Now, making peace at the moment could be really, really useful. But let's have a look and see. Random general of another faction dies. Quite like that. Want to hang on to our pirate raid. Enemy army forced to give battle. Not necessarily going to use that, but we'll hang on to it. It's about whether we want to sow some dissent right now. And who will we sow dissent within? The untimely death of a general, though. See, that's cool. That's really cool. We'd end up hanging on to it for a long time if we didn't use it now. So I really want to use that, and it's in the agent phase that we use it. We're not going to bribe. I don't think that we're actually necessarily going to use any of these cards just now. So I think he's still going to sit here and it's not actually going to help us just now. Let's go for the untimely death of a general though. Let's just absolutely throw a spanner into the works. So what we do is we roll the d12, and so from the Carthaginians we then count round and we see where that ends up. So that actually means that we're more likely to end up with the Greeks, which is exactly who I'd like to target. So we're going to roll our d12 and see what happens. A 6. So starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually it's the barbarians who are losing army number 2. They're losing their competent general. Yikes, look at that. So because of the untimely death of a general, what's happening is that the competent general of army number 2 of the barbarians is up here, which is exactly who the Carthaginians are actually worried about. So this is actually really, really useful. So they're going to get rid of them. But one of the rules is that the barbarians actually get generals for free. They get incompetent generals, mediocre generals for free. So what happens is he's actually going to spawn what's it called, a mediocre general. If I can just find him in here. Yes, here's our mediocre general. Now let me just check with myself about how that's going to work, because if he's within 4 of the home region and within lines of communication, then that can be successful. So yes, he's going to be able to come and join in that army here. So definitely weaken them, and that's actually helped. So there we go. That's us reached the end of the agent phase at the moment. Lots of cards out there that we need to remember that we've got hold of. So we'll take a quick look at those as we keep going through. But now we move on to the taxation phase. And so as we do that, I'm just going to double check and see. So that's when we place any unrest in any home region. So that could be one that the Greeks want to use. And actually, as I'm saying that, I think placing 2 unrest into Rome right now would be a fantastic thing to do, because they won't be able to counter it. And so into any home region, because it's going to go into Rome, what that means is that they're not going to be able to pick up the 3 from their taxation there. So that's a fantastic card for the Greeks to go ahead and to use there. So a little bit of economic warfare taking place. Anything here that's good? Spending phase, not useful yet. Anything useful here? Any phase. A leader assassinated. So assassinating a leader could be useful, but we want to just hang on to it for a little while longer. Just want to see how things play out. Carthaginians, anything useful here? Campaign agent phase? Nope, nothing useful there.